Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to understand what do you mean by PLL and what is a basic principle behind its working. PLL, that is phased locked loop. It is the control system that generates the output signals which is related to the input signal frequency. The contents of my presentation are introduction, phase detector, block diagram of PLL, working of PLL and applications. So let's see what is PLL is. PLL is control system that generates output signal whose phase is related to the phase of the input signal. That means the phase of input and output varies with respect to each other. PLL was first introduced in the year 1930, but at that time the cost is the important factor because the cost was very much higher. The use of PLL at that time were restricted. But as the development in the integrated circuit takes place, the cost factor is introduced and PLL now can have a number of advantages so that it can be used in number of application. PLL are used in the application like it can be used in FM modulator, it can be used as a frequency multiplier, it can be used as a FSK demodulator, it can be used in frequency division and many more. So basically the PLL is considered as one of the important basic building block of many electronic circuits because it provides number of advantages over the other circuits. PLL is available in the form of single IC chip and the various IC numbers are the PLL IC having different number and they are 560, 561, 562, 564, 565 and 567. So these are few numbers of PLL IC that can be used in many applications like FM demodulator, FSK demodulator, frequency division, multiplier and many more. Now let's understand how the principle of operation of PLL is, or we can say the block diagram of PLL. Before going in detail about the block diagram of PLL, first we discuss about phase detector. Phase detector or phase comparator is a frequency mixer, analog multiplier or logic circuit that generates a voltage signal which represents the difference in phase between two signal inputs. So, a phase detector is a circuit whose average output Vout is linearly proportional to the phase difference phi between its two inputs as shown in the figure. The two inputs are V1 of t and V2 of t and output is V out of t and the phase difference is represented as phi. In the ideal case, the relationship between V out and phi is linear. Crossing the origin for phi equals to 0 called the gain of the phase detector. The slope of the line is nothing as represented as k of phase detector is expressed in V per radian. A familiar example of phase detector is the exclusive or XOR gate as shown in the figure. As the phase difference between the inputs varies, so does the width of the output pulses. So thereby providing a DC level proportional to phi. While the XOR circuit produces error pulses on both rising and falling edges, other types of phase detector may respond only to positive or negative transition. So we know the truth table of XOR gate. When the inputs are different, like one input is high and another input is low, the output of the XOR gate will high. So this behavior creates a signal. They represent phase difference between inputs. 0% duty cycle at the output indicates the inputs are in phase, while the 100% duty cycle indicates that the inputs are in 180-degree phase. This type of phase detector only give difference in the phase. So this type of phase detectors gives the difference in the phase. Now let's understand how the principle of operation of PLL is, or we can say the block diagram of PLL. The block diagram of PLL basically consists of input signal having voltage Vi and frequency Fi. The various blocks which are present in phase locked loop are phase detector or comparator, low pass filter, amplifier, and voltage control oscillator. Now let's understand the function of each block in detail, so we can understand the working principle of phase locked loop. The first block is nothing a phase detector or a comparator. The input signal which is having voltage Vi and frequency Fi is applied as a input to the phase detector or a comparator. As its name indicates, the comparator or a phase detector is basically used to compare the two signals. One signal is nothing but an input signal, that is voltage Vi and frequency Fi. The other input received by the comparator is nothing but an feedback signal. The feedback signal is nothing but a output, or a part of output is given back to the input. So here we can say the output voltage having amplitude V0 and frequency F0 is act as a feedback signal and act as another input to the phase detector or the comparator. So the comparator compares two signals, feedback signal and the input signal, and it produces a voltage VE at the output. The voltage VE is called as error voltage. Now the error voltage having difference of phase between the two frequencies, that is the input frequency Fi and the output frequency F0. So error voltage provides difference between Fi and F0. So this is about the phase detector block. The next block is low pass filter. The next block is nothing but an low pass filter. We know that filter is the frequency selective circuit. If we consider the frequency response of a filter, then it consists of two main parts, that is pass band and the stop band. As it is considered as the frequency selective circuit, it passes certain band of frequencies which is called as pass band, and it blocks the remaining frequencies which is called as stop band. So low pass filters are basically used to block higher frequency and passes lower frequency. The frequency in pass band having higher gain, whereas frequency in stop band having lower gain. So when the frequency range from 0 to Fc, that is up to cutoff frequency, we will have high gain and we will have a pass band, whereas frequencies which are above Fc having 0 gain, and we can say that comes under a stop band frequency. In case of phase locked loop, that is PLL, the low pass filter basically used to remove the high frequency noise present at the output of phase detector. That means the output of phase detector VE is passed through a low pass filter. Here we will get a ripple free DC voltage at the output of low pass filter, because the high frequency noise is get attenuated by the low pass filter. The output provided by the low pass filter do not have enough amplitude so that it can drive the further system. So in between the low pass filter and voltage control oscillator, we are having a amplifier. Amplifier is basically used to boost the signals or to have enough amplitude of the signal. So, amplifier provide adequate amplitude to the output of filter, that is a DC voltage. The output of the amplifier is now called as VC, that is nothing but a control voltage. The output of amplifier is nothing but VC, that is control voltage. Now this control voltage is nothing but ripple free DC voltage but having adequate amplitude so that it can write for the system. The input VC, that is control voltage, is applied to the next block called as voltage control oscillator. Voltage control oscillator is basically electronic circuit in which the output frequency bar is according to the input voltage. So here the output frequency, that is nothing but F0 gets changed as per the input signal, that is nothing but control voltage VC. The voltage control oscillator provide three states of operation and they are free running state, capture state, phase lock state. The output of voltage control oscillator, that is V0 having frequency F0, is get compared with the input signal having amplitude Vi and frequency Fi by using phase detector and comparator. Now let's see what are the three different states of operation of voltage control oscillator. The first state is free running state. Now in this state there is no control on F0, that is output frequency. It is the state that is free running stage, nothing but the stage of voltage control oscillator before applying the control voltage VC, that is input voltage. The second stage is nothing but a capture state. Now in this stage the comparison between output frequency F0, that means the output frequency, and input frequency Fi is gets actually begins. And the control voltage starts bringing output frequency near to the input frequency because the function voltage control oscillator is to provide output frequency that varies with respect to input voltage. So the input voltage VC tries to bring F0 and Fi nearer to each other. The third stage of operation of voltage control oscillator is phase lock. At this stage, voltage control oscillator provide F0 equals to Fi and PLL enters into the phase locked loop. F0 equals to Fi is nothing but here in this stage at phase lock stage output frequency voltage control oscillator provide output frequency equal to input frequency and phase lock loop entered into a phase lock loop. So once the PLL enters into the phase lock loop, then the output frequency gets changes with respect to input frequency. That means the input frequency starts tracking the output frequency. This also indicates that the output frequency is get changed with the variation in input frequency. So this is how the phase relation between input and output is obtained by using PLL. The important part placed here is the part of voltage control oscillator where the actual comparison and equality of frequency takes place. So this is about the working principle of PLL, that is the control system which generates the output signal which is phase related with respect to input signal. Once the PLL is get phase locked, the output and the input frequency varies with respect to each other. So here is the explanation of the block diagram as I explained already. So I already explained in detail about the working of PLL. So here I will just read. The block diagram of PLL basically consists of input signal having voltage Vs and frequency Fs. The various blocks which are present in phase locked low pass, phase detector or comparator, low pass filter, amplifier, voltage control, oscillator. The input signal Vi with an input frequency Vfi is passed through a phase detector. A phase detector basically a comparator which compares the input frequency Fi with the feedback frequency F0. The phase detector provides an output error voltage VER equals to Fi plus F0, which is a DC voltage. This DC voltage is then passed onto a LPF, that is nothing but low pass filter. Here we will get an error voltage. This error voltage is passed through an low pass filter. The low pass filter removes the high frequency noise and produces a steady DC level Vf equals to Fi minus F0. Whatever the high frequency noise will be there, the low pass filter will remove those noise. The Vf also represent the dynamic characteristics of PLL. So the DC level is then passed on to a VCO. The last block diagram is nothing but voltage control oscillator. The DC level is then passed to this voltage control oscillator. The output frequency of the voltage control oscillator F0 is directly proportional to the input signal. Both the input frequency and output frequency are compared and adjusted through feedback loops until the output frequency equals the input frequency. Thus, the PLL works in these stages. I have already explained these three stages: free running stage, capture, and the phase lock. So, we'll see what is exactly this means. As the name suggests, the free running stage refers to the stage when there is no input voltage is applied. If there is no input voltage is applied, then that stage is nothing but free running stage. As soon as the input frequency is applied, the VCO starts to change and begin producing an output frequency for comparison. This stage is called as capture stage. The second stage is capture stage. It is nothing but as soon as we apply the input frequency, the voltage control oscillator starts to change and begin producing an output frequency for comparison. So this stage is nothing but capture stage. The next stage is the frequency comparison stops as soon as the output frequency is adjusted to become equal to the input frequency. When output frequency will become equal to the input frequency, the frequency comparison will stop. So this stage is nothing but phase locked state. So we know that in phase locked condition, the output frequency will become equal to the input frequency. The exact equality of the input and output frequencies of PLL in the locked condition is a critical attribute. The significance of this property can be seen from two observations. First, in many applications, even a very small frequency error may prove unacceptable. For example, if a data stream is to be processed synchronously by a clock system, even a slight difference between the data rate and the clock frequency result in a drift, creating errors. As shown in the first figure, there will creating a errors even in a small even a slight difference between the data rate and the clock frequency results in a drift means creating an error. The second observation is the equality would not exist if the PLL compared the input and output frequencies rather than phases. As shown in the below figure a loop employing a frequency detector would suffer from a finite difference between input frequency and output frequency due to various mismatches and other non-idealities. This can be understood by an analogy with the unity gain feedback circuit in the beside the figure in figure to this one. Even if the op-amp's open loop gain is infinity, the input referred offset voltage leads to finite error between V in and V out. So this is the according with the basic understanding of the PLL. Now let us see small transients in lock condition. Let us now analyze the response of a PLL in the locked condition to small phase or frequency transients at the input. So now see the PLL waveforms in locked condition. In order to familiarize ourselves with the behavior of PLL, we begin with the simplest case. The circuit is locked and we wish to examine the waveforms at each around the loop. As illustrated in the figure, V in and V out exhibit a small phase difference but equal frequencies. The PD phase detector therefore generates pulses as wide as the skew between the input and the output, and the low pass filter extracts the DC component of the VPD. Applying the result to the voltage control oscillator, we assume that the low pass filter has a gain of unity at low frequencies. The small pulses in V low pass filter pulses in voltage at low pass filter are called as ripple. In the waveforms as shown in the figure, two quantities are unknown, phi naught and the DC level of V constant. To determine this value, we construct the VCO and phase detector characteristics. If the input and output frequencies are equal to each other, then the required oscillator control voltage is unique and equal to VI. This voltage must be produced by phase detector, demanding a phase error determined by PD characteristics. More specifically, since the equations are given as V1 equals to omega 1 minus omega naught, so the equation is given as V1 equals to omega 1 minus omega naught divided by KVC naught, phi naught equals to V1 by KPD, which equals to V1 minus omega 1 minus omega naught divided by KPD into KCO. These equations gives two important points. First one, as the input frequency of the PLL varies, so does the phase error. Second one, to minimize the phase error, KPD, KCO must be maximized. Let us now analyze the response of PLL in the locked condition to small phase or frequency transient at the input. Consider a PLL in the locked condition and assume that the input and output waveforms can be expressed as V in of t equals to VA cos omega 1 of t, V out of t is equal to VB cos omega 1 of t plus phi naught, where the higher harmonics are neglected and phi naught is the static phase error. Suppose as shown in this figure, the input experience a phase step of phi 1 at t is equal to t1, that is phi in equals to omega 1 of t plus phi 1 u of t minus t1 square. The phase step manifests itself as a rising edge in V in that occurs earlier than the periodicity would dictate. Alternatively, we can say that the phase step result in a shorter period just before T1, since the output of low pass filter does not change instantaneously. The voltage control oscillator initially continues to oscillate at omega 1. The growing phase difference between the input and the output that then creates white pulses at the output of the PD, forcing V low pass filter to rise gradually. As a result, the voltage control oscillator frequency begins to change, attempting to minimize the phase error. The loop is not locked during the transient because the phase error varies with time. So, you may ask, what happens after the voltage control oscillator frequency begins to change? If the loop is to return to back, omega out must eventually go back to omega 1, requiring that VLPF means voltage at low pass filter, and hence pi out minus pi in also return to their original values. Since phi in has changed by phi 1, the variation in the VCO frequency is such that area under omega out provides a additional phase of phi in phi out. Let us now examine the response of PLL to a small input frequency step delta omega at t is equal to t1 as shown in the figure. As with the case of phase step, the VCO voltage control oscillator as with the case of phase step, the VCO voltage control oscillator continues to oscillate at omega 1 immediately after T1. Thus, the PD generates increasingly wider pulses and low pass filter voltage rises with time. As omega out approaches omega 1 plus delta omega, with widths of the pulses generated by the PD decreases, eventually settling to a value that produces a DC component equal to omega 1 plus delta omega minus omega naught by kV C naught. In contrast to the case of phase step, the response of a PLL to a frequency step entails a permanent change in both the control voltage and the phase error. If the